Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Android News Byte. Today, I wanted to highlight some early benchmarks of the new Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset from Qualcomm, and then talk about the potential thermal issues that seem to be cropping up. The Realme GT7 Pro looks to be the first smartphone with the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip that has landed into the hands of tech reviewers. Initial Geekbench 6 CPU scores have shown it to be quite impressive, with single core scores of around 3033 and multi-core scores reaching just over 9,200 points. Overall AnTuTu scores have given the device a score of 2.7 million, and Geekbench 6 GPU scores testing both OpenCL and Vulkan have shown the chipset reach scores of 19,000 and 24,400 respectively. But it looks to be the GPU that is making the chip get too hot to handle. When the website Digital Trends tested the Realme GT7 Pro with a 3D Mark stress test, they ran into issues trying to get it to complete the 20-minute benchmarks, with the Solar Bay stress test failing around 17 to 19 minutes into the test. Granted, these early test units are running software that is still being optimized, and Realme did acknowledge this with a new over-the-air update that promises to fix the issue. The thing is, after the update had been installed, the phone is still getting quite hot when running this test. Digital Trends shows that the Realme GT7 Pro reaching 45 degrees Celsius while completing the Solar Bay stress test, something that the Galaxy S24 Ultra was able to complete at 42 degrees. Battery usage is also likely attributing to the thermal issues, as their tests show the benchmark eating up 15% of the battery of the Realme GT7 Pro, while it only uses up around 12% of the battery on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And with the Realme GT7 Pro having a much larger battery, this indicates the Snapdragon 8 Elite battery usage may be much higher during intensive gaming loads compared to its predecessor. Now, I do want to point out that these are early tests of the new flagship chip from Qualcomm, and these aren't exactly apples to apples test environments. Samsung has a much different optimization strategy than Realme has, and that's just when it comes to the software. A spokesperson from Qualcomm has released a statement claiming the thermal issues from early test units with the Realme GT7 Pro aren't caused by the Snapdragon 8 Elite. They seem to indicate that another software update is on the way that will fix these thermal spikes. However, battery usage underload is also something that may need to be looked at. I suspect that the Snapdragon 8 Elite will need quite a lot of cooling if OEMs want to keep throttling to a minimum. The new Orion CPU cores don't seem to be the issue here, so I doubt we'll be seeing complaints from people who are using the phone under normal circumstances. However, if you're looking to get a device with the new Qualcomm chipset for high-end gaming and emulation tasks, then it's probably a good idea to wait until one with active cooling is available. That way, you aren't leaving performance on the table due to thermal throttling limits. But let me know what you think about these early benchmark tests down in the comment section below. I would be curious to know if you think Samsung and other OEMs will implement beefier thermal dissipation hardware, or will they just let the chip get as hot as it needs to be? And please, don't forget to like this video while also subscribing to the channel for more Android news content like this.